in the game. Hey, I gotta set the camera a certain way, make sure we don't move around. Hey, y'all, come here. Give me 5, baby. You don't give me no love, man. I'm like, nah, sir. Hey, hey, everybody. Hey. That's me being all goofy and shit, fruit drunk. Now it's time to build on the science of the heavens, y'all. What heaven is, external and internal, basically. How to get there. Differences in the heavens and all of that. Yeah. Things they don't want you to know. Certain things they don't want you to know about. What's happening? Gotta make sure that the daggone camera don't go out. I know it's kind of awkward. The way that, it's set up a little bit. But it's time to build about the heavens, man. We ain't got nobody talking about the heavens. Too tough. We just talk about it. We got this little imaginary place and how it is. Most High and our ancestors, through our ancestors, told us about the heavens, and also informing us through, our family members that can see spirits and hear spirits. Because you can see Sargus, you can see the actual spirit of a person, and the Most High basically gave the power of the spirit of our ancestors to take form of whatever the light that they use, whatever they want to manifest as. In order to not bring fear to their family member, they usually just be themselves. But you're going to have other individuals who want to bring fear into you. And so we got to get out the TV a little bit. Start really tapping into the spirit game, y'all. Peace, y'all. We got the doves out here. Look at all of them. Yeah, so it's me and the thugs maintaining. We're building about the familiar spirits of immigrants to foreign lands, specifically to America or America. There's a heaven over America that is very much sought after by the whole entire world. Full moon, I've seen no clouds covering. Oh, that's so peace. That's peace. They got the clouds covering out here, so something's gonna just to report back to the rest of the tribe around the world. Something's gonna happen. Something weather-wise is gonna go down. Because they got the clouds working out here. They did a little chemtrail. That's just for our little location where it make it rain and stuff on the dry side of the island. Hey, what's up now? I want to pick and this say game something. I hope I'm right. But that's good. The full moon is the true Sabbath, so the Sabbath is about to be approaching pretty much right now at this day. This day is sunset, boom. That's like the true Sabbath, the cosmic Sabbath, of just relaxing and not doing anything. I guarantee you, man, that shit helps you out. You don't get so bored that you're gonna want to do something on those days. But it's important for us to not to, and to give them back their Saturn day of Sabbath. That's for the Hebrew Israelites who really on the corners and shit. Hey, brother, and I feel them. They be hitting buzz. I had a mother walk past. He thought he knew me. He was like, I was going to the store. He's like, hey, brother, gotta put the blunts down. And you gotta make sure you stop smoking that weed. His voice cracked and shit. I'm like, boy, you better get down in my face. I understand. I love you too, bro. Everybody has their own path. You can just, live by example. And if you want to suggest it, that's cool. But yeah, we're back in the game with these familiar spirits and understanding these heavens, man. Because there's heavens over every land. And the Most High had already appointed certain energies and angels of gods and Lord gods and lordesses over these lands already. Let me put my fake meows on. And so, but they have been infiltrated. And some who didn't, who didn't want to put in the work to go to the higher heavens within the earth plane, they just wanted to stay in and continue to entice mortals. Remember, as a mortal, you're like a little embryo. You're going to grow to be a high vibratorial spirit past etheria outside the firmament. And so, as far as you cultivating your energy now, which is your desires to control others, anything outside of you, desires to, eat or consume things that is not, right and exact for the benefit of your being, your temple, and, having your kundalini, just going reckless on your spiritual energy. You learn these things in this stage. This is not a stage where you just keep on repeating life and it's like you get to the highest form of humanity. Now you're like a perfect being type shit. No, you're a light being. You're light. When you transition, your body transitions to light now. Your body is not even built to even hold your light as long as you would think you will want it at certain stages in your life, as being like, wanting to be mortal in the flesh. Because that limits you so much, because you're so much more. Like in the dreams, there's so many different things in your dreams. Why? Because you're light. You live in different realities, or a different, heaven, if you're in a high vibratory frequency on Earth. And so, yeah, and how we know that? Because your body produced DMT. It has to produce DMT. You have to go to the spirit realm when you're resting to go to rest. That's where your spirit goes. It has to go to the original heaven that is graded upon as you're living. Like you're living, you're making your labyrinth as you go, like Silver Surfer and shit. You know what I mean? They got Trump as Osiris. Yeah, they doing a lot of things. These must be copycatting. They copycat a lot of stuff because they know that story, Osiris and all of these different things. That comes from the Mississippian culture. Like it's like the oldest culture in the world, where they talking about the Heru, ISIS, all that good stuff. However, man, we're finna trump that right now and shit, G, because he's doing what he's supposed to do in this part. Most I use the enemy as our enemy, as a footstool for us to build upon. Now we know. We have to get to, I'm looking around because there's a lot of motherfuckers around and shit. They looking at me and I'm sitting in front of the water. So y'all gotta forgive me, you know what I mean? And so basically just getting to know where the heavens is at. So all these heavens that are like conquered, you see that they have a lot of war shit set up, like a very high defense system. They have still residue of false gods that was ruling over those lands. And in America, they never really had a false god ruling, just emissaries that were sent over the land of Gautama, which is America, or Amaru, Gautama, like Guantanamo Bay, like Buddha's name, Gautama, and all that. All that mixed in together. All that mixed together. So we was a very enlightened, land. So as far as the travel to different lands, you had to be at a certain enlightenment level to even go and visit that land. Or else you won't be able to go into the land. Now they got the veil down where we got people who are so low vibratorial living in the land of Amaru, and they're not supposed to spiritually, because they haven't spiritually ascended enough to even live on the land and to even get into those heavens. They can visit. That's what passports is for. But they limited the nigga's passport around the world because they know that no matter where a nigga go, man, he can raise the vibration wherever he's at or lower it. Meaning that he's like the original. He can be a devil in them areas, or he can be godly in those areas. It's preferably best for him to be godly, higher self. And so, as far as like with the heavens over America, we had temples everywhere. I'm talking about you come to the land, it's temples. That means that land is devoted to the all spirit, the great I am. That's who we really rolling with and rocking with. And they knew it. When we knew the names and we knew the vibration and the frequency, and they wanted to call into the all I am. But we like, man, we can't even tell you and shit, because you gonna, we just trying to look out, you know what I mean? But most I like, God, don't worry, I'm with them too. But the thing is now that they on the land, they done got into cemeteries. They done got, they want to be buried next to niggas. Niggas have to be buried in the public cemetery next to them. We'll have our own private cemeteries no more. They've been invaded, our mounds been, robbed. There's a whole bunch of cemetery robbery that happens in where we was from. Because we always, buried our kin with jewels and shit. That was just a part of us. Mothers have, to this day, you see mothers having rings and shit on, all that shit. That's just in our DNA. The spirit rocks the DNA. So it gets a little deep, right? So with any immigrant that comes through to the land, greetings, peace. I'm gonna move the phone just a little bit so I can see right here. Boom, boom, boom. I gotta. I'm gonna have to have some reading glasses. It's crazy. But anyhow, though, peace. It's good to see you. I hope I say it right. Is that dark? I can't see it. I hope I say dark soul. Peace. So yeah, man, we jumping back into the game with these heavens, man. Certain areas in the world are not conquered by these we call them grafted people, or cabbage patch people or whatever. But when they mix in with an original person, it's like that gene to die out no matter what complexion they are. It don't matter about the skin complexion. It's all in that DNA, And so, anyhow, getting back into, I was thinking about the land. So anyhow, the lands have heavens, specific heavens that's running over them. We had all the temples and shit in America. Everything you see, we had honor to the Most High. So when they came, when it was a false god sent his emissaries over to the land, he heard about where the ions, or the ones who are spiritually inclined and understand spiritual things, who are the Most High chosen people. He heard that there was a land full of them. And he was just thirsty in the mud for this energy and shit. So it began at that time where they wanted to always come and take our land over. So what they did, what one of the false gods did, he was a false god that was in Vindu, or India. And he wanted to be the all Iumaza, which is the all God, the all true and living I am. That's just another word for I am. And so he lied to his people as they fell in vibration, because the heavens over their land, they fall in vibration as well too, and this is when they become corrupt into their lower selves. And this is how ages occur. Like you got the Silver Age, or the Bronze Age, or the Gold Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age. It gets to those points, and it's for all these people to have these civilizations. So now we had a time where these civilizations up, but now we're at a time where they figured out a very clever strategy to get immigrants to come with their familiar spirits, meaning that everyone has a familiar at least 5 familiar druids or jinn that's around them, that kind of lurk them if they never left their land, their homeland, that picks up on them. They pick up on them in places like hospitals, or just living their regular life in the hoods, because people have already lived and died on our land so much for thousands of years, and so and in their land as well, And if them beings genetically haven't got in tune with the all I am, or any of the high ranking angelic, our ancestors that wanted to come to go over and wrap it up with them and kind of inspire them to do right, then these people was just going to be inclined to do recessive things due to their recessive melanin intake. But they have a little bit of crystalline up in them. They can absorb some information. It's what they do with the information that makes them, wise with it. Makes them a wise individual. So anyhow, though, coming over to Amaru, boom. Now you got individuals who never handled their devils, who never really had focused on family, on man, woman, and child, and things of that nature. We're focused on different forms of sexuality. Different forms of sexuality, of how you have sex with another being and shit, like that type of shit. Not how you have sex, plant the seed to make the baby, and boom, 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 like the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, or the son, the earth versus the woman, the child, which is the best part, the star, basically knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The best part of the conversation is the understanding, and they all have to deal in equality to born their culture. Man, woman, and child has to deal in equality in order to born their culture. Because 1, 2, 3 equals 6. Boom, 6 equals 2. Boom, that's 8. And it goes deep. So anyhow, they have to build and destroy. Build and destroy anything that's weak and wicked that's in their cipher. We're not too busy entertaining anything that's with these immigrants that come with these lower vibratorial spirits that want to have sex and sex you up all the time, because they never experienced no one with kundalini as high as the niggas and shit. So it's like they become one to obsess over, especially when you have spirits that come from a land called Africa too, that already knew of your existence. They knew that you was ahead of the game, and they still want to send their people, what they've learned, to kind of want to come and conquer. They're kind of like known as the Gentile a little bit. But most I said the Gentiles gonna have their way with the chosen ones. They call them Israelites in the Bible, but the Hebrews, all over the world, even in the Pacific. What's up, baby? How you doing? You all right? So, you know, they know what's going on in the game, and they know who we are, so they know they have to desperately get into our heavens. And when they keep our mind and our spirit occupied with their false god, they can know that we can manifest a false heaven over the land, at least to delay our, you know, our ascension. Which that's the only thing they can do at this point. Because ancestors, this is what they say: vengeance is mine. That level of existence, which is the spiritual level, the S level, that will be considered like a God level over the mortal level. Like if the S really wanted to fuck with people in the mortal form, they can. It's like, and that's why you gotta have protection and shit, because they will attack your ass and obsess over your life. That's why some people who don't have that protection all the way, they be fucked up and get what you call possessed and shit. Then you have to have niggas come through that know how to get these motherfuckers unpossessed type shit and get the spirit about their body. This is what the Bible's been talking about the whole time. We're dealing with spiritual shit. And now it's more spiritual than any time. I know I can't move the phone, y'all. If I move it, it's gonna be all extra something, man. You know what I'm saying? So they know. So basically, that's the whole thing. It's like, okay, boom. In order to get to us, they have to infiltrate the heavens, at least to delay the time. And that's what they done, and they doing it now. You know what I'm saying? They actually got some set up shops over in our land, you know, especially with the Mormons too. But we already got that angel. These are false angels who's setting up shop, and they entice mortals. And it's being that, okay, we back to the S realm. S realm, they entice mortals to do foul shit, you know what I'm saying? Sexual things, and eat certain ways and all that shit. They be sitting there gorging with them and everything in spirit form. Because these motherfuckers don't even want to do the work to even vibrate up off the earth plane. So that's really what we're going through. We're dealing with spirits who live for hundreds of years on the earth plane, going around enticing motherfuckers to do their devilish deeds. That's really what we're going through. And most likely you're dealing with a mortal or a physical being who is enticed by these motherfuckers, who is being used like a puppet by these people. We call these motherfuckers elite, but they ain't physical bodies. That's what it is. They already live corporeal lives, and they came from other corporeal worlds, other star systems, but they're in light form now. And now they come and try to do the thing to us. But we're a highly spiritually evolved people and shit. Because, you know, all over our lands, we had temples and shit. But once they learned to get into our temples, when the false god from Vindu came and sent his emissaries to America and hit all of the daggone temples where we're at, even Mexico, all that shit. In the mainland, on the top, in the north, you know, North America too. They posed as certain gods as all I am, as like a messenger within those temples, like the people who didn't develop those spiritual gifts at those times relied on at that time. They became false priests and false shepherds. And these same motherfuckers knew who we were, so they would make up, they knew and understood that the actual construct of the Most High will make beings at certain points in time that these motherfuckers just can't destroy and shit. Like a part of the video game, like you just can't fuck with them at any time. But then they'll make up people too by going and sampling the thoughts of the people and see what the thoughts is going to produce. And then they'll, boom, find two couple that have been through a certain amount of that, whose lineage done been through a certain amount of hellish things, that they can born this certain baby who has the perfect amount of psychological trauma and delivery, sociopathic delivery, to entice the people, and borderline, which is like, you know, dealing with the feelings, to entice the people as a whole to believe in him. And so what they do, they grow this motherfucker up, and he's a mortal, and then they'll deliver a horrific death and bring him back to life in front of everybody and shit. They already know the science of light, you know what I mean? That's why this is how they do that's how they've been doing for thousands of years. Only the strongest of us, this is like our incubator stages, is going to be able to survive those things, you know? So this is how they get into our lands. Peace, let me see something. Said, please try with please, that's my Eno. What's that? Is this Eno? That's my dog. I gotta go through the whoops, man, because it's hard to, it's hard to do the knowledge out here with the sun gate. You know, it's not even the sun; it's like a haze and shit. Might have the volcano go off in a second. Depends on us on how dissatisfied we're gonna be. And you know, we got the family close too right now in the light. They're not just physical beings; these are already beings who already live corporeal lives. They already know and understand on living and dying. You don't just see. This is where the false Osiris come in the game at, because he had thought mind and all these things, teaching of how to perfect the physical body to live immortal, by just living on earth and shit. That gets boring. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Ever evolving is what you do. So that's how they trapped it. That's where that false Egypt began right there. And as all false gods do, they always promised, they right hand man, yo, I'm gonna give you a heaven to your own, I'm gonna give you a spot to yourself, nigga. They're like, oh, word, that's what I'm gonna do. And he just started learning how to go, leave his physical body and travel amongst, the city in Egypt, and how to just do things in the spirit, and people would just chop it up with him in spirit. And he got that because this is a gift that comes from the Creator. But they understood this, and they started figuring out how to make mortals do these things and be seers and all these things. They started from birth, where they kind of like wrap their head and make them flat head so they can see shit, like how the Most High allowed them to see. And so when, true God sees that, Most High must allow them to get this type of information, true God has to, evolve a little bit more and be a little bit more swifter, because now, false gods are becoming more swift. They're adapting to what the Most High does and kind of using it to their strategy to kind of get mortals to just come to their heavens and worship them only for a certain amount of times until, Ethereal gods come to the game. So hence, this is why these Muslims want to have immigrants all on the land and shit, because they know and understand that with immigrants coming from all around the world, they're going to have 5 different drujits with them that is unfamiliar to the people on the mainland, and it's familiar to them. Thank you, I appreciate it. Just trying to clear the area out, because it's like seeing me build over here, because everybody's trying to come through, and I ain't got no food right now. You know what I'm saying? So and they smart as hell too. They smarter than mother. And so, bam. So they know. See, this is what's going on. So this is why deportation is very important. And this is what the Muslims understand, because those familiar spirits that that are being pointed out, even if they also, remember, this is the enemy of the Most High too. They still try to go after niggas, you know what I'm saying, if you look a certain way or seem a certain way. But they kind of know this is one of the ways they can do it without saying too much, and kind of clear the battlefield out a little bit, because what this little war that's going on, they understand that the White House has been infiltrated by like a foreign entity to them. They know this shit, and that's why a lot of shit's going on. That's why they're mad, and they know and understand this is the sign. They know that, man, this is the niggas' land, G. You can't fuck with them. Why you think you can do all this shit on their land? You set up bases on all their burial grounds. You set up shit over in Area 51. That's their shit, and they civilizations live and die over there. So you're really strong in spirit over there. So the thing is, in order for you to communicate, because everybody know it now, it's now to the next step. You know what I'm saying? Now is, how do you apply this motherfucker? How do we activate it and keep it running? This is where the Kundalini comes into play, because we tap into some of our old music like how we do, and we come up with new tracks again and shit. We got to go back to some of our old doctrines and sayings and shit that was delivered, and using our discernment when you're hearing it from the Most High or a family, our ancestor that already went past, the firmament. Because you hear that the writing is different, that man can't write this good. And then you hear when man has, came in and abrogated the doctrine or made a false doctrine. When I say abrogated, they took parts out or added parts in and made their own doctrine of it type shit. And that came in with Constantine and the Roman and all that shit, But Constantine, he was able to see Sargus. And Luamung was a false god who was to be the false Christ. He's seen that. And this is how he already sent his emissaries to see that type of shit and multiply the thoughts, and boom, and got Constantine and taught him the shit through blood on how to establish Christianity. This is what the false gods do. And so, as all false gods do, at this cycle, or in that previous cycle, Luamung had a homie named Jabril or Gabriel. And this nigga wanted to have his own kingdom. But he was the one that showed him how to do the burner, death, kill and shit. This is why Islam was established the same way. This is why they was all connected through the Roman church. Because of the false gods, they was together. Luamung, false Christ, Jabril, Allah. And these motherfuckers weren't human. They weren't human. You see that in the Kaaba, if they chose so many different, had so many different gods in the Kaaba, they had the main one up there, they show him as Allah. This man was like a reptilian looking face sitting on a chair. And they say not to have, images. So you got to understand that they don't want to show you that Allah, they say Allah just means the God. And they can kind of make it seem like that's the all, but not really. It's not the breath. Because it all came from, what was established before Luamang came in and abrogated the holy doctrines. Remember, they marketed into the souls and the spirits. So when they got into the mainland, they couldn't get, the false god couldn't walk on the mainland itself. He had to send emissaries and shit. But that happened the first time. Great wars ensued, and, we got the land back. After getting the land back, Mosai, of course, sends naturally, supernaturally, and what you call shepherds, the ones that are anointed with the oil, the inner oil. And he sent Hiawatha. They don't talk about Hiawatha or Iowata. He sent them to unite the tribes in America. Pardon me, y'all. Hell yeah. So that's where we get the uniting of all the tribes, because now it's like, we can't let a false god come in and try to do anything to us no more. That's why they know it's so hard to conquer us and shit, because we're not really with the false gods. Even if we're worshiping Jesus, we still like kind of in our mind and our hearts, we're thinking about the all creator. That's why they had to put an image in front of us. When they put the image in front of us, they're like, that's when they was trying to break down the mind. Peace. It says demolish the Hiawatha. Yeah, man. Hiawatha's off the chain. I used to go to Lake Hiawatha in Minnesota, man. And the whole story is Hiawatha, Minnehaha. Minnehaha it flows from Minnetonka, and boom, Minnehaha turns to that goes a long ass way. And where I was at the end where where the Minnehaha runs into Hiawatha, which they got their love together. And then they form together and they flow on to the Mississippi. And the Mississippi, like, boom, goes on down to the Sea of Sociopan, or the Gulf, what they call the Gulf of Mexico or whatever, Gulf of America. But that's pretty much what goes down. That's where the story begins at. So Mosai had me come from Mississippi to go to Minnesota to learn shit like that. Because I wouldn't know why in the hell I went to Minnesota. So I was 5 years old. They got me up in the middle of the night. I was like, we're going to Minnesota now. The land of Prince. And that was when he was just coming out and shit. They like prepared me for that area and shit. But it was more than that, nigga. It was gangster. Like Vice Lords, GDs, man, all the Vice Lords, the real killers that left Chicago and shit, and came up and started their own fraction and shit, like, and left Chicago. Like, nigga, it's even more dangerous now. So, and we were little too, 12, 13 years old, man. So anyhow, so it's like that. So anyhow, now they're allowing all these immigrants to get on the plane, so we're gonna speed it up as far as, like, getting onto the planes, because their spirits weren't familiar with the ocean. This is why the ocean is there, because they can't fly over that shit. They was too afraid to go over it. The Moors had to teach their spirits on how to travel in that water, so that the Moors don't have to travel with their ass no more, so they can travel on their own. Because that's how everybody learned, through their ancestors. Because their ancestors been on the game for so long, it's like, shit, I might as well go learn how to fucking sail across these waters and shit, and then boom, hand the information to the mortal, boom, now the mortal develops the shit with no fear, and they travel the world, boom, 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 all through inspiration. But they couldn't get over to America because their spirits were very low grade and didn't know how to travel and didn't even know maps. So hence they weren't even able to be taught. So as time went on, after that whole little, the reset that we see, that everybody's like released into the world and shit now. I don't care if they talk about the 16th something that my white folks just invented. I'm pretty sure more was a little bit before that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of the game. But however though, they weren't adept in traveling the world on sea. So as time developed, they figured out, they see that niggas already know how to travel on sea and in the sky. And how they know? They came up on the maps. And they overthrew their homies and shit, because they wanted to know. But most guys gonna make the ones that overthrew them, we the only ones that really can to fuck with white boys like that. You know, you see the African and the white man, they argue like man and woman and shit. The white man try to get us to arguing with them like that, and we always trying to reason something. And they know we naturally like that, but they know that we also have this fire too. You know, and that's what they want to bring out, because they know that we got a little bit more fire than the African shit. You know what I mean? But we have it contained because over thousands of years of discipline and culture that we have. That's one of the reasons. Well, really the main reason, really. So they know if they come over to our land and say they know they couldn't beat us, they couldn't trick us, they couldn't whatever, none of that. The only thing they can do is come to the land and live and die. So they can get into heaven somehow, some way. It became that serious. And if they can't get in there, they have to bring in all the foreign immigrants who have foreign or familiar spirits with them, who don't know how to get across the water either, or else they would have got inspired and got their asses across the water, which they didn't. But they had technology that we left there. And they know that we got across the water thousands of years prior. Why and how? Because we got monuments and shit everywhere. That means that we already done crossed the water before. On land and on the water, on land, I mean in the water and in the sky. On boat and in the plane. So, and how do we know that? We got shit written in stone, shit. Shown in stone and pictograph, like, nigga, just in case y'all don't know. This is what it is, alright? I know y'all gonna know what the fuck going on. We already been living. We already been doing this shit. This is why it's like a code for niggas to go to certain places now. Like now you see, if your ancestors there, that means they done set up a heaven over there. You'll know that certain things don't happen in certain places your ancestors like truly been. They had to knock out certain things. They had to get Germany, but niggas was over there, but they had to get Germany because that was one of the main examples, you know, to get first, because that was a powerhouse. Like the Germans, them niggas, they were helping with us because they wanted to get in heaven also. They were strong. Oh, I got the helicopter coming. I'm talking too much shit now. It's coming close too. The Germans are strong and shit, you know what I mean? So they know they got that rowdy buck up in them. They don't care. They go, there you go, boy. I wonder if we got the infrared on and shit. You see all the homies around here. Like, yeah. So they know that them ones got the buck up in them and shit. They like, oh man. So they gotta hit the Germans and shit, and everybody had to team up, you know? Everybody had to team up against everybody to get the fuck with us. So what happened to us, we just dropped them and fell in vibration. We still continue to be happy, you know, we kept the vibe. We had to go through a lot of things. I'm just trying to look on this bitch. Hold on, y'all. Oh, well, I got it right there. Peace! What's happening? I gotta say, audacity. Now, sorry, y'all see my hand all over the whoop. It's a symbol, y'all. Let me know what y'all hand look like. Cause when they talking about that M, and I'm not hating on anybody with the M. You know what I'm saying? You know, that means you're just more in tune with the earth. It's not that you reincarnated. You could have been a spirit that not reincarnate, but it could be feeding off of a physical body. Now, this is kind of like, you know, the Gua'uld and the Stargates and shit, how they take over the body and they make the body live for thousands of years and shit like that. But it's like, you know, it's not you reincarnated. It's just like, y'all, it's two of you motherfuckers, basically. Y'all like Siameses. And you can feel it. That's why y'all go crazy. That's why people with the M, it's like they say, oh, they're reincarnated. And it's like, nah, they just really in tune. That's why those type of people are, and they're in tune with physical shit. Like, you know, they can vibe with people. They're very charismatic and life of the party and shit. You see motherfucker with something like this, ain't no end, man. We got that space. So now it's time to reveal who that is and shit, and who they are. And it's on both of them too, because if you know how to read, you'll know. You put them both together. I can't show you, but it's a book, G. That space, you always been weird your whole life if you got the space. You may not got the space, though. And some of us got broken little spaces and shit like that, the things that we have to heal. That's what we tapped into. That's part of our culture. We figured it out. You know, we're dealing with spiritual shit here. Because in our culture, we already dealt with low vibratorial beings and shit in our land. We know our heavens and shit. That's why our heavens was very detailed and designed out and lined out like accordingly. We had the schools, we got the colleges, you know what I'm saying? Where we learn continuous things, science and mathematics, real science and mathematics. You know, how you think we learned about the 5 platonic shapes? You think a mortal just sat there and just found out what a platonic shape was? He just sat there and just like, okay, that's what it is. Nah, nigga. And niggas found that out. Why? Because we're the oldest ones on the earth plane. And we were, and our ancestors are old, so they was already in the schools learning about all this shit. It's a trickle down thing. There's rank to this. Yes, it is rank. It's rank, and we're the highest. And they know it. That's why the world hasn't progressed since it's been in the hands and rules of you know, the wicked one. All the technology is just recycled technology that the niggas had. Niggas was walking around with the phones and shit, chopping it up with each other, like, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna see you. Who's already do that shit? You know, when Tesla come in the game, the fake Tesla comes in. He's like, man, you can have a device in your hand where you can talk to a person halfway across the world, right in your hand. Did he not say the shit? I used to be up on Tesla, man, when I was young. I got knowledge of self when I was knowledge equality with the 16, you know? So, we're gonna build on, yeah, the heavens, G. So they know they have to infiltrate like that. So if they know, if they can let these immigrants come over to the land, where all of them motherfuckers got 5 Druids on them, plus their guardian angels, but they don't really have guardian angels like that. Like, niggas do. Like, they really don't. They ain't like coming wild animals type shit. Them niggas is like Homo sapien, and you think Homo sapien is advancing, it's not really compared to what you really is and shit on the earth plane. You get inspiration directly from the creator. They can get inspiration from you when they see you. They don't come up with hip hop and rhyming like I'm just gonna sit here and just boom, boom, boom. They may come up with, you see a motherfucker with some talent, you be like, how the fuck you figure that out? You know what I'm saying? Be something that won't even be talented. Like, how can we all use this talent in the world, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that we all can use, so it's not a gift. Because Most High gives niggas gifts and shit. And we can either gift our family, our culture, our vibe, or whatever the fuck we got. It's the difference when you have the direct connection to the creator, Chief. And GUANTAMA is the only one who have direct connection, Chief. That's why they market to your soul and your spirit in the afterlife. They want to set up shop in your heavens, and they know they ain't got it, so they got it on the earth plane. And Most High just showing, getting them to show their hand, and also showing what his babies is capable of by letting us have the free will to bring down the shit in the first place, and to get back online and make connection to, you know, the higher council. That's pretty much what we do in our organic heavens, because we have organic heavens. They have inorganic heavens. You know, we didn't have incubator shit where we was at. That's inorganic. They made inorganic. They took organic shit and made some shit. They got them type of heavens. We're not going over to their heavens. Hence, it goes back to them not knowing how to travel the world. You know, as far as like across the waters, they weren't adapting it. Well, as soon as they came adapting it, boom, it was on. But after that, it was a war that went down. So everybody knows some type of war that went down. Basically, the real war. So anyhow, we're gonna bring it up to the future, where we are right now. I don't want to get too far. It's the culture day and shit. It's divine. So that's that 9 ether gene. You already know. And see how we can discern the 9 ether? Like, yo, we may not follow Malachi all the way, but we know that means something. You know, that like, oh, that means something right there. Like 9 to the 9 power to the 9 power of 9. That's right. That's you already know. So we know that means something. So we use that as far as like, you know, hey, we can connect up to the higher chakra, up to the higher, you know, etheric realms. And that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what we're gonna do. But going back to, okay, I didn't want to get off too far and shit. Going back to the immigrants. So they know if they get all the immigrants over, boom, it can overwhelm the natural Nagas, which is natives of the land in Hawaiian, and also just niggas. See how they resemble, phonetically sound the same and shit? Nagas, niggas, kings and queens and shit of the land. It can overwhelm their Asars, which is their guardian angels. You got 2, they switch off at night and shit. They're not like, they're like light beings and shit. They fly over and shit. They in tune with jazz. They're very high in the technology. They know real technology. And you know, they're assigned to you. You got one that's assigned to you when you transition, and one comes in when you're born. And then they switches. The one that switches when it's born, they just go through different stages with you. And so, and you must know they look at you. They're your family and shit too. You know, you got a lot of family members that are already transitioned way before your ass, and they're learning to get ready to get off the earth plane too. And that's how we're gonna get back to the S realm being the God realm over the mortal realm. Being that whoever in that realm is God, basically, compared to a mortal, because it's like they can do a lot of shit if they master their spirit in that realm. Like, yo, if they really want to cause all kind of shit, make the shit move in the room and all of that, they can actually do that. That means that the room is possessed. There's some motherfuckers in there knowing how to move shit around. They spend so much time there, they like, fuck it, I can move. Like how niggas will be right now online and shit, trying to move a motherfucking trying to move what you call that, aluminum foil and shit. Like, they doing all this shit. You know, motherfuckers looking at me like, what the hell? And so, hey now, thanks for joining in. You know, and is that my Russian homies? What's happening? So, you know, they trying to do that. Like, okay, it's the same thing in the spirit. Only reason why the brothers, you see them trying to use telekinesis in the flesh is because that's a spiritual sense. And they're trying to use a spiritual sense in the flesh, but they don't have enough fuel to make it move. And the fuel is the kundalini. That's why repenting is really important, and paying your tithes every month is very, very important. You know, so anyhow though, thing in the flesh, it's like, same thing in the spirit, where they spend so much time sitting there, they trying to touch a fucking physical thing, like, and they finally figured out how to touch something, depending on its buoyancy and frequency of that physical thing. If it's light and buoyancy, because this is all buoyancies and frequencies, this is not gravity, even in the S realm. The S realm is the atmospheric realm. That's why you get a lot of fucking shit talking about the ozone layer, motherfuckers trying to crack the dome 1,000 million times because they're trying to send rockets to open the shit up. If they did, they wouldn't know what to do. They disintegrate. And they don't even belong here. They'll disintegrate quicker. Only we can be able to absorb the UV rays of that outside of the firmament. But right now you're at such a state that you can't do it because you're toxic melanin. Your crystal is like not crystal tight. Oh, you're the helicopter, G. They own a nigga. They know how to deliver the message out here in the middle of the world and shit. That means like, nigga, that's a sacrifice, nigga. Coach, that means that's what the coach you need to do. Ain't no big I little you. It's about the great I am, the Most High. And he sends this information. So for you to understand, you may have to hear it in the flesh, like right now type shit. Like, you know, some people can't. So we have to be in the flesh to these people so they can get it. But for us, we're fortunate enough to get it from inspiration from the S realm, from our ancestors, or even just the wind, the breath. You think that's air you breathing? Nah. The breath, nigga. You can breathe in and get inspired, nigga. They can't do that. Their inner dialogue is not like yours. You know, yours became like theirs because of the gaslighting and the projecting tactics of the psychological, sociopathic motherfucker you done came across. Who done learned how to cross the water. Who just had you on their mind as soon as they got there. Shit. And depending on what type of nigga that was dealing with that was showing them these things, these niggas are sociopathic too. Even though they couldn't get over to America, so they had to send somebody and shit, you know? Because niggas have pinpoint them out after a while, just due to their ways and actions. But if we see a new being, another motherfucker or something like that, we're going to have a little bit more leniency on this motherfucker and trying to teach him through our patience and treat him humane. So much so that a spell was able to be done because of these immigrants came with five different hella motherfucking assigned drujits, the demonic entities assigned to these motherfuckers. Most High's giving it to me. They all came with it, where they came in a little bitty cute little motherfucking Cabbage Patch doll and shit. They all had 5 motherfucking evil motherfuckers on their ass. And so, you thinking you holding this little cute, big head ass, water bad ass baby and shit. Like, damn, man, I don't want to fucking shoot. But you just like trying to teach this little nigga. They still are inclined to doing recessive things because why? They have recessive melanin. They have a recessive biological makeup, meaning that they're inclined to recessive thoughts and recessive ideas. And where do you get recessive shit from? From low vibratorial entities that's assigned to their ass that's inspiring them. Remember, the S realm is the God realm over the physical. And the niggas that made them motherfuckers knew this shit. Hence, the heavens on our land is very important because we ain't got shit like that popping off in our land. Shit like that ain't popping off, man. We ain't in laboratories doing the island of Dr. Monroe and shit like that. Niggas ain't no shit like that. Not niggas, not real niggas. You know? Yeah, so I had to jump back into it, man. I see Thuggy Dubs over here. They're like, nigga, what's up? I say, what's up, y'all? Peace. Celibacy is important this season, dude. They hate a nigga, boy. I tell you, they hate a nigga. They hate a nigga. You gonna pull it back. They gonna keep on trying to make an example out of niggas, man. You know, like they can, like they mean something to us. You know, like they're what they think means something to us. So I was like, yo, whatever you think don't make me crazy. That's what they want. They want whatever they think to make your ass crazy. It's like, nah, motherfucker, no, it don't work that way. See, I got a hold of my shit. It's whatever you think make your own ass crazy, because I don't go off of what you think. I don't have to. I got my own rules. You know, and that's what we're gonna get back to. That type of shit. I got me a orange. Let me go ahead and bite this motherfucker. Alright. Got the thugs around too. You know. Etheric mic on. Mosai gave me the download. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, it's important wherever we at, man. We're like the weather center at that, wherever we're at. We're like the ones who's gonna like start that center Vortexian current and change the weather like a fucking like an antenna, like they got. But we're like a walking, living antenna, like a living solar flare. And if you do not let that light go, the more jewels you got, the more powerful you are. And they know that. But if you lower your light, they don't even care if you rock all the jewels. In fact, they hope to sell your ass fake jewels. Make it look like you got strength. Like, this nigga ain't a liar, he's honorable and all this shit. Meanwhile, that motherfucker lying like a motherfucker, diminishing the power of the light that's within the stone and shit. Crazy. But that's what they want. If they can't rule our heavens, they definitely want us to self-destruct. They definitely want us to self-destruct. So when the ancestors when they on the realm, what they're doing right now, it's anarchy. Shit's popping off. Remember, it's the God realm. We ain't really, as bad as we want to fuck these motherfuckers up in this realm. I mean, I see the Black Panthers and shit, and the NFAC Muzz want to, you know, march with the guns. As good as that look, you know, that looks good, I guess. You know what I'm saying, nigga? Bunch of niggas in black walking down the street with guns and shit. You know, with the weapons of the enemy and shit. That don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? The enemy gonna have a whole nother type of weapon. Like, look at this club, man. You know? That was cool. Well, you got a defense. We got a defense already. It's like we just have to raise up in light. I know it's like, well, how the motherfucker do something right now? Well, you gotta help yourself first. Then you must know that you're helping. Once the light hits a certain point, when we got a thermometer, our body, our spine is like a thermometer. Once we all hit this little certain level, like, boing, the signal hits. Then it's on. We all got to do it. Shit. Then they know we mean business. This is recorded in the Akasha. This is cosmic energy and shit. I was speaking about Kundalini. What's almost a better feeling than a motherfucking orgasm? You damn near can't even. You have to think of a feeling more better than that. Like a feeling, motherfucker. Like you feel happy. But an orgasm, if you was sad, you can have an orgasm and shit. Like, damn. Kind of try to take your mind off of you being sad and shit. Orgasm is powerful. Why? Because it's Kundalini. It's a powerful thing, dude. That's why they play with you so much. So getting to our land, bringing all these immigrants over on the planes, this is where they fuck with shit. Now they're able to bring them in planes. There was the first immigrants on boats, and the other first ones came by walking and shit. So everybody know that spirits all over the plane. Everybody knows they fuck with. Everybody know about spirits, but they don't know about the higher plateau. Like the highest plateau is like, yo, nigga, this has got to be at a high grade to be at this point and to get off. Music at this level is totally different. The inspiration from this level is totally different. the thought, the catchiness, the wittiness, all that shit is totally different. You think that you see a civilization and everything's moving like the cars, and you looking at it from an aerial view and it's all speedy like a futuristic one, you think it's just like recessive beings and shit? Nah, these motherfuckers are very inclined with neural melanin connected to shit, like fucking Tron, man. Tron is really niggas. Shit. Fast. You gotta think quick. Yeah, we're getting back into the lands. I was gonna say something. I don't know why I got myself up off that, but they knew. So when they get everybody over on them planes, yeah, that's where we at. First immigrants came by walking, so they brought their spirits over. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Walking. They brought their spirits over by walking with them. They familiar spirits. When they crossed the Bering Strait and shit, so they came over. We gave them a little spot. You know what I'm saying? We believe everybody can heal. They'll be in tune with the all spirit. They'll watch what we do. They'll do their best. You know, they lived and died also, and they had a little heaven. We allowed other ones to come through. Amish, you know, they was cool. They didn't do nothing to us. They had little familiar spirits, but we put them in Appalachian Mountains where we knew there was other spirits that checked them motherfuckers. Like, they go outside at night if you want to. Motherfuckers don't go outside at night. But we gave them an area though. You know? And as time went on, we was getting everybody areas again. But what they did was bring motherfuckers. Like, they'll cause fake wars in areas and market it to us in America and bring these people from Africa, you know, like Somalians and shit. They had a whole neighborhood. Now they got a Somalian graveyard, I'm pretty sure now. That means they got a little heaven now, you know, set up. So this is how they do it, you know. So they bring all these immigrants from everywhere, from all over. And these immigrants set up sections on the land. Hence, they got their own little heaven. Because them Somalians, they didn't know how to get to America. They weren't able to swim. It's more longer than 9,000 miles. Africans weren't able to swim 9,000 miles. So an enlightened motherfucking nigga had to show their spirits. Like, they had to wait to get on the plane to get over here. I mean, you know, to get to America and shit. That's pretty much what went down. While the Caucasians was able to get on the boats. And it was taught specifically from the gods. They had a favor for a certain amount of time due to the science of the planetary alignment, the divine alignment, how the light was pretty much low and we was being tested by the Creator on how we can still be in our higher self. Our ancestors pretty much passed. So this is why they're entitled, they can do all the killing in that realm. So being that Muz doing, you know, mortal killings, mortals and immortals and shit, it's not really good for us to do. You know, warring is more than just killing and shit. You can war on different levels too, though. But however, you know, mortals and mortals are not supposed to be doing all that. Because once a mortal kill one mortal, that transition can have hate, envy, all this shit in his heart. And spend all them days with that being. Antagonizing that shit, because they ain't got shit else to do. Waiting for his ass to transition. Have a setup, already chopping it up with other spirits and shit. Talking about, I don't like this nigga. And being that he done already put in some work for another group of Druids and shit, them Druids will fuck around and be like, when I say put in work, whatever, to a mortal, or helping to antagonize another spirit and shit. You can't kill another spirit. So, you know, they have to take that, go ahead and they'll side with the nigga. Like, this nigga done put in work for us, nigga. Yeah, we gonna get this nigga soon as he transition. Because why? The defense level is down of niggas, or on America, the defense level is all the way down in the spiritual game. It's in a form of rebuilding right now. Because niggas is not in control. Gentiles having their way with Judah right now until shit changes. It's all hidden, man. Peace. What's happening? Love in the highest all life. Boom. Said Back to the Future hit one. When he went into the clock and went to 10/28, October 28. Yeah, that's what's up. It's only hot for the popcorn. We got the screen right here. That's my screen, my TV and shit. Well, when the stars is out, man, I wish I could control it. I wish I could record it, but I be playing with the Hawaiian spirits and shit. But they got a couple of spirits that done already transitioned over here. But the Hawaiian spirits is cool. They the ones fucking with a nigga and shit. They was able to travel on the plane. They was able to get to the mainland now. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get the inspiration. See, it's the same way. Spirits, you got to learn shit too. You just don't be floating to other parts of the land. When you get in the transition, you learn the modes of travel and shit. If you're on like second resurrection, you know you got a higher grade versus you being on the earth plane in the first resurrection and shit. If the first resurrection is not cleaned up yet, you know, because that still has like insects and animals and shit on it. Whereas in the second resurrection, you ain't gonna come across no animals and shit like that. It's just y'all, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's the screen, so I be seeing all the stars and shit like, you know, they be trying to cover that shit up and put sunblock in the sky. Like, nah. So I be seeing also the letters from the sun too. There's letters that the sun, you sun gaze, it gives you letters, it gives you glyphs. I ain't wanna tell nobody that right now and shit. I've been doing that shit for years. I'm like, man, this nigga, what the fuck? Yeah. You sun gaze, it floats it down right in front of you like a glyph, whatever. My last one I just got was like the AIDS symbol or whatever that the AIDS symbol was, the breast cancer symbol. It was something like that, but it floats down and it showed me I got different dots, letters with the dots over it and the little loop, and it showed all that shit. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta put that shit together. That's just fragments of it right now because I chose not to be in tune to that part of myself because it's like. Oh, it's deep. That'd be deep on that one. That's when the dreams be hitting the business. I be telling you all kind of shit. But that's why I be smoking before I doze off and shit and let my subconscious hear like, yo, you take the wheel, man. I ain't trying to hit that shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I gotta go to rest. And most I say, yo, even though you be in the midst of hell and shit, I'm gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying, you get some good rest. That's why most be looking at me out here. They're like, damn, man, this nigga ain't got nothing. These millionaires and billionaires and shit. I be in the gym. They must be trying to so-called intimidate me with their cluster B personality disorder, but they end up running to a real one, and I ain't got to do nothing but just trigger them just by being self, and I'm not even trying to be or whatever, or just, you know, confident or whatever the hell, you know. They know the Kundalini is going a certain way, because, you know, if you're gay, you don't like another gay motherfucker, really. You know what I'm saying? If you did, you'll make a gay area and shit. You make it known that you're gay, and we have our own gay bathroom, like everything else. Like we got the gay day. Like, nigga, we don't want you in our bathroom. We got our own gay bathroom. We do what the hell and what the fuck we want to do. In our own bathroom, nigga, you don't tell us shit. But nah, they can't because, you know, they drawn to that Kundalini going in the right direction and shit. They'll sit there and watch your ass at the urinal like, follow you in the bathroom. Why? Because they can, nigga. It take a woman to check that, though. We can't say nothing. They be like, oh, he's gay hating. He's gay hating. He's homophobic. Nah, it's different. Because if it was a room full of chicks, I wouldn't be chickophobic. If it's a room full of men lusting with motherfucking wet lips looking at me and shit, it's a little like, what's wrong with you? I'm going in the opposite direction, nigga. What's wrong with you? You don't need to be around a motherfucker like me, because you like, you know, you get triggered to do all kind of shit. Like, you know, fight or flight response. Motherfucker stump out the room, or they want to get seen and drop the waist. Everybody got a cough. All of a sudden, I'm like, what everybody coughing for? What's that mean? You a deep throater? No, I don't know. I just be one. I'm like, oh no, man. Back into my world, nigga. Everybody see Kundalini going up the right way, man. We going up, nigga. I know it's fucked up in this world, right? I know, man. You know, it's tight. That's why the average motherfucker can't do that. The average person can't be celibate for a season. You know, they might go back into the, you know, to the muck. You know, seeing like it's like a dog going back into his to his vomit and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, look at him. He'll walk away from that bitch when he look back like, man, fuck it. Oh, you nasty motherfucker. You done got to an ascended level and shit. And you went back and licked your own vomit. You know, that's kind of like it in the spirit. So you can do this and master this shit in the flesh, really. You know, but it just takes some time. That's all. We're a witness to it now. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all. So they do bring their little spirits over. So it normally don't be you. But they really objectify niggas and shit a lot anyways. Or each other, shit. And women don't really like that. Don't no woman like to compete with another man who likes certain things. I'm not trying to offend nobody, but it's like, we gotta compete on it. We're already competing on property. You know what I'm saying? Who owns what? Who got this? And now we in competition, our narcissistic competition and shit. Hey, I got the bigger side of the garage. Fuck you, I got a whole partner, y'all. I got a whole another house somewhere. That's a woman talking like me. I can make my own money now. But fuck you do means, you know, the center pole, the North Pole. A lot of niggas be like, you're gonna see a bunch of us going like this, man. You're gonna somebody standing there with the feathers on going like that. You're like, what does that mean? Like, nigga, we know what the earth look like, motherfucker. That's what it means. We know the science of the pole, man. I ain't trying to hurt y'all, 'cause I got mother looking at me like, why is he throwing the middle finger up? Seems offensive to them. Why? Because subconsciously, we're exposing the great lie of your Copernicus model of the earth, motherfuckers. Just by talking about heavens on earth right now. Where the heavens is at. So, like, nigga. That means we know we're going to be taking pictures like this. All of us in the picture. It's not an offense, so don't even look at it as offensive. We had the babies doing the same thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Peace and, yeah, motherfucker. Trying to spoil your peace, man. Coming with them dang familiar spirits that they got and shit. Just trying to fuck with you and entice you. That must is addictive. It's obsessive, you know? If you haven't faced that yourself in the cluster B personality, which is the idolize, devalue, and discard, whichever way, certain coaches mainly can look at it, devalue and idolize, and then discard. Or discard in their mind first, and then idolize them, and then devalue. They don't know. It's just sickening and shit in their own fucking personality way. So they'll do all these things, especially to niggas. Especially they don't even know niggas, because it's been, you know, it's a marketing, it's a media, it's a business to make niggas look bad. If you make a nigga look bad, you're more less inclined to do business with a nigga, because the nigga look bad. You gotta say something bad about him. If you see what happened to your boy, I don't even be in tune to this, but most artists put it on it. Jake Paul and shit, just want to talk shit about Tank. And I don't even really fuck with Tank, but, you know, it had to be something in the contract for him to want to expose personal shit like, well, fuck you, you're just a woman beater, and you got the ankle wasted enough, and then. It's meaning that, to me, it almost like, you won't let me say goodbyes from the back, you ain't shit, yeah, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you won't let me do what I want to do with you. Now you got to what? Go and run a smear campaign. That's cluster B personality at its finest. You could have just been like, yeah, that pussy didn't want to fight, so fuck him, it's on to the next. But now you got to say that he's a woman beater, you got to this. Man, yeah, our bitches can fight. Our bitches slap the shit out of us. Now, you know, with Tyson, you know something about Tyson? Yeah, they had to put Jake Paul in the harem, habit ritual. Yeah, they had to do something. Tyson could have knocked him out too, but, you know, Tyson's at a point where the money matters. It's like, you know, fuck it, nigga. I'm gonna get some money to lose. I'm a loser. You know, this is a game. This ain't life. Okay, cool. And it's okay. Tyson been through some shit, and I can't even judge him. How he feel? Lost a daughter in the game. A lot of shit, man. So I can't judge him personally. You got people around him all the time. Usually when you dab that, you're dealing with validation at that point. That's the big personality. You need a narcissistic, you need a yes man or somebody to validate or love you. You know, my man lost his mom and all that shit like that. You know, it was kind of sad. We watched him grow up. You know, so, you know, he was a young heavyweight when I was growing in the game. He was only 10 years older than me, probably. Shit, it wasn't like he was old. And it was just young knocking out old people. All that anger that Cuss showed him how to use. And Cuss knew about the spirit too. They only know up to about the heart chakra. But we know past and beyond. That's what we're about to tap into. Look at how I watch my back real fast. So we know a little bit more, and then we tapping back into it right now. And you know, of course, Cuss the model kept Tyson celibate for like 5 years or something, man. Tyson was knocking everybody out. Even with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was celibate for like 5 years or so. You know, if you see, they had to lock that motherfucker up because they were like, this nigga's not gonna lose. And he just revealed that he wasn't even having sex with people. And once he started having sex, his kundalini, his sexual appetite was so huge, people would say. And he had like 4 or 5 women that's laid out in the room. A lot of our athletes are like that. They don't understand that. All that energy that you use to jump and fly and run and all that shit, once you start tapping into that tree, you'll become you know, addicted, addict to that energy, that dopamine energy that your own body release within your own temple. And so you're like, you know, you're having sex now. You got like 5 different women and shit. You got the money too, you know what I'm saying? And then you're a narcissist, so people are gonna make you feel like you're the best person on the face of the earth. Even if you're histrionic. And you know how you punish people? If you're histrionic, you know, ain't even gonna talk to them no more. Even if they don't answer the phone. Little shit is not even answering the phone. You can fuck with a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But we're dealing with these personality disorders these foreigners got. They coming with this energy. This is in the spirit realm. So, you know, this is why clearing of the land is important and shit. Because now you can get back to who is what. It's like a motherfucker coming to be like, hold on. Y'all got all these motherfuckers against my babies, and they doing this. You know, all these motherfuckers got at least 5 motherfuckers on them. My babies got 2, and they can overwhelm my babies, angels and shit, by trying to fuck my babies' angels. Like when the hyenas see it's only like 2 lions and shit, and it's like 10 hyenas and 12 hyenas and shit. Them lions ain't gonna fight. They just like, man, what the fuck, man? They mad, but they mad because they gotta go retreat, go chop it up with the Most High. Like, yo, man, they got him, man. Okay, well, prepare their sorrow to go get the spirit blanket to receive them upon death, so they won't get him in the fucking foot in the spirit and shit. Let him live out his life as long as they let him, because they'll do it. They know they can't get the spirit. They'll try to still keep his mind because they know that the inspiration of your angels is not there, or your ancestors is not there, because they got full control in the spirit first. That's why that's the God realm, basically. So that's why God venges his mind. I mean, the motherfucker will make it over there first. They got more time to plan on your ass. And when you cross over and shit, they're figuring out shit. Like, they're just figuring out shit. Like I say, learning how to move physical shit. Learning how to understand physical shit. They learning from coats and all of that shit. Like, the motherfuckers who look so hideous that and never be able to get into Ethereum. Ethereum is not like Star Trek, where you see some of the most hideous creatures up there. No, some of the most beautifulest creatures. Meaning that they were made and designed by the Most High. The hideous motherfuckers who don't understand that type of shit, they know that there's an all spirit, but they don't really understand. They'll never be able to ascend. They'll forever descend. Or be at a point where they can never make it up there, get to this chakra, that's it. The lower 4th dimension, or the lower 4th chakra at the most. They're not enlightened, man, you know? So if they were, they would be able to travel outside the firmament. That's how it is, man. So now we just gotta take our powers back, dude. And that's the way. Pardon me, bro. Then Tyson have Venom. That's why. Yeah, but they say Tyson used to do that shit, like when he was younger too, like all the time. He always put them gloves. We used to always see that motherfucker walk out. He'd be like a little scared kid walking out. The next thing you know, they be like, bah! They're like, damn! He'd do that shit. He was like 20 years old. We're like, what is he doing? We ain't even know. I just know now. I just know. But yeah, man. I'm gonna wrap this up, but you know, but that's how it is. So it's clearing out. It's like a mug is moving the motherfuckers off the battlefield. So we know the familiar spirits of you know, Caucasians and shit. We know what they're capable of, especially the niggas in the South. We know what they do. That's why the ones in the South, you know, Caucasians in the South, they like niggas, and the ones that are a part of the hate groups, the one that really likes niggas though, they're mad at that they hate niggas like that, man, because they know niggas is so cool, man. I think they like, damn, gravy, I love gravy and shit. What you mean to tell me this spare rib right here, niggas is cooking spare rib, oxtails, nigga, all that shit. They like, man, what the hell is this? This shit tastes so goddamn good. Niggas know how to make shit taste good, you know? They really don't want to leave because it's like, damn, they understand that they're the true narcissist, they're the true psychopath, they're the true histrionics, they're the true sociopath, or true borderlines, the molesting, pedophilia motherfucker. They'll not understand that. And they wrote the history themselves. We didn't even put it in the book. They wrote it in everything we see. They wrote down the shit. They took the picture. I mean, it wasn't us. We didn't go and take the picture. It wasn't the niggas, people that went to the side and said, let me take the picture. Niggas went in and taking pictures. Them motherfuckers were taking pictures, man. And so, when they got to Angkor Wat, they understood that when they seen that dang on right, I'm gonna build on that. That's the Buddha land, basically. You know, of course they got a false god over there, trying to get people to worship it. So, you know, tried that, but they're it's done. You know, but however though, they took the true God's teachings and turned it to that. You know what I mean? So they came over that city. They're like, oh man, Angkor Wat. It's probably the most. It's the temple. It's a big spiritual fucking palace temple complex. The biggest, most sophisticated one, basically damn near that we can see, other than, you know, what was in the Grand Canyon and other parts of the world and shit that was probably burnt up or whatever. This shit is preserved. This is probably the least of it all. And I'm gonna have to put the pictures up, man, because it shows us on those trees. I mean, in those banyan trees, the faces that's on it. I did a video a long time ago on another channel to kind of hide the identity and shit, but it got thousands of views, and it was on one of my ex's channels and shit. I'm going to show that video. Pay attention to it. But they got the story on the walls of the trade, how they're going back and forth, not just from Africa. You got put together. They trading back and forth through the Americas. You know, a couple of people came from the Africas. They were to blend in. You know, they were basically they didn't kill those Africans. Those Africans that they brought were the ones who basically liked the chief's daughter type shit, and they had sex and shit like that right now. And they kept those families running with that bread. You know, they were from over there. That's really what went down. You know, it's always coming to America and shit. We got the blood, we got the genes. You know, Henrietta Lockett, I don't see nobody went over to nowhere in Africa to get no other genes from nobody else. They had to come to America to get the Henrietta Lockett to see, like, damn, these genes are immortal. Them motherfuckers are still alive right now. You know, a lot of niggas' genes is alive. Shit. Because it's deep. It gets real deep because we're not from here. And it's like, damn, why you say that? Da-da-da-da. We ain't, nigga. We set up shop. And man is from here. So we taught man, and so from there on out, shit went down. I know it gets deep, man. It boils down to the blood type and the hair texture. We had all shades of hair, basically from 7 ether and up. Let me put this over here, y'all. Pardon me. So yeah, wrapping that part up, man. Just want to just go ahead and say, yeah, for all those familiar spirits that's in the city now, it's like you got help. It's kind of clearing it out. All you gotta do is just get out the way. Don't complain about shit. Just get out the way. When I was in the world, well, I wasn't even in the world. I knew to drive. I didn't have a license and shit. I had a permit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I know they wanted to pull a nigga over, but I dressed a certain way when I was driving. It's crazy, but yeah, I dressed with the suit, with the tie, not the suit, but you know, the button-down shirt, the glasses or whatever. And some cars I had, it was pimpish, so you couldn't really hide it and shit. I got pulled over in that, but they didn't take it because I had a grace on me. But you know, a lot of cars I had took it from me. But it just depends on the energy that you have in the car, because I was in a place where they want to take your shit from you. So, you know, and how you carry yourself in the world. If you carrying yourself in the world, like, you can be a thug, but be a corporate thug. It's a certain way you carry yourself now. You know, I'm out here. This is a part of the outfit. Nigga, I'm in the tropics. That's what happens. Can charge up from the sun. I ain't got to be sitting with a shirt on and da-da-da. They can just be mad all they want to, but everybody's chest naked. You know, women walking with their ass hanging all the way the fuck out. Like, it's normal for the ass cheeks to be out here. It's not, you can't even lust over that. That's just a part of the anatomy out this one, right? You know, and so you just be like, man, she got a nice ass, she got a nice ass. Shit. What more else can you say? But you know, dress apart. If you're gonna dress, if you're gonna be in the world, yo man, you mean business every time you step into the world. That means that's how I had to dress. And I ain't look like a bum. You know, I had to, you know, I'm walking through skyways and shit. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to navigate, even with being homeless in the coldest area and on Earth, in the United States type shit. You know, with the slacks and the shoes. You know, and the Italian coats and shit. You know what I'm saying? The button-down shirts, ties with the clips. You know, looking sharp though. You know what I'm saying? Lined up. You know, still doing my thing. You know what I mean? Learning and studying, going stopping at certain places, studying, going to borders, reading books and shit like that. It's the way you carry yourself in the world. You know what I'm saying? As it meant that I always meant business. You know what I mean? Even if I wasn't getting the money, I mean business. That means don't fuck with me, don't mess with me. Yeah, I mean I'm on my shit. But they don't have to know which way you're on your shit. They can think, oh, you're doing whatever. You know, it's not necessarily all about that, because money can be canceled at any time. Like, you know, cancel all them after so-and-so, we're not using no money, this, that, and there. You have to transfer your shit, and you have to start your shit from talent now. They're like, what? Everybody be fucked. Except niggas who like, what? Oh, they haven't always wanted to, I got this one song I was gonna, you know what I'm saying? We ain't wait for that. You know, that's why they pay niggas so much money for the talent. But yeah, so just dress the part. Dress like you mean business. Like I said, if I'm out in the world now, I dress like, you know, an athlete. And I don't like to really promote a brand at all no more, because I never really did. I will only promote my people. So you got a brand, I promote your shit. Or I will only work out in those type of things, and then I have the links to those things. I know you'll make bread, because we're going to be the head of the game at this point. Like, we're going to be the head influential people on earth if they keep your daggone Wi-Fi open. We don't even care about the commercials that come on. Motherfuckers, don't care about the commercials like that? Because our heavens is the most inspirational, even though heavens out here in the Pacific. You know that? Thank you, my time. Appreciate it. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Even out here, Pele, like, all them niggas, they like, don't forget us, man. You know, because they rowdy as a motherfucker, man. They the real light skins without being mixed with white people type shit. I mean that in a good way, you know? They the true light skins in a good way. They not even light skins and shit, you know what I'm saying? They red too, but they soul, they got shape, everything. And they're oh man, they're beautiful people. They Hebrews too. Not to say the Israelites, but they say Hebrew. They're Hebrews too. They're beautiful people. They got insight. And they can understand the spiritual nature. And there's so many things in their words out here that let you know that they were touched by the Creator, that the inspiration of the high is on them. And that's why I love talking to them. That's why I give homage to the natural ones out here. So, but damn man, I almost got off on the other one shit. I forgot what I was gonna say. But it's all good. There was something I was gonna say about something. It'll come back around and shit. You know, the thoughts around. There's a lot of things to say, you know, but they know and understand, you know, who Nagas is. And this is basically tapping into who you is esoterically and just getting to the heaved up, getting the light or that oil to the crown chakra. And it's about a year. I ain't gonna even front. I've been doing this already for about 7 years. I already understand. I don't want to just reveal a lot of things, but that's what's been going on, you know, and just being able to reveal it back to the family. You know, it's more than 3 months. The ones from 3 months, they can learn a little bit more from stuff. I can help inspire them. We're talking about inspiration. Yeah, inspiration from the Creator. You know what I'm saying? But in the flesh, you know, we're like the earth angels that can inspire people to reach them higher points. You didn't know you could jump from the line until you seen Dr. J do it. You know, Michael Jordan didn't know he could do it until he seen Dr. J jump from the free throw line. Then when Jordan did it, everybody starts seeing like, oh, I could do this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Then same thing with dancing. Muzz didn't know they could do it. Michael didn't know he could slide side to side and do the moonwalk until he seen somebody else do it, like Bobby Brown. So Bobby Brown inspired Michael. Like, you know, they's like, damn, this how niggas get down? They inspire each other. And one get the inspiration from the whoop, or they take inspiration from different things they see in the flesh, or whoever their angels or their ancestors kind of place in front of them to get them inspired without being in on their free will. That's what happens and shit. Same thing with beat making. So yeah, I jumped off this subject too with beat making. Going back in the ancient times, and we're just remixing what we know from before with the new beats right now. That's really what we're doing. So what we learned from before, we're just remixing them with it now because we know and understand that there's angels, false gods who control the mortals. Yeah, that's bringing me back up to heaven above the ethereal, above the firmament. And us dealing with hideous creatures who are false gods on earth. These are hideous looking motherfuckers and shit. Like, you think the picture of like Satan or devil look hideous? No, that's just one type of creature that won't get to the heavens and shit. Like, that's one of those creatures that's like, okay, Most High is not allowing it to go up, motherfucker, because they don't see, they don't go all the way. They don't believe all the way. And then versus ones who are like that have the ability to see, but they just need to be taught a little bit more by the ones who truly see. And Most High allowed them to mix in with one another. And the ones who have the ability to see, but don't do it all the way, these people are very good in like, I guess agriculture, you know what I'm saying? Agriculture, farming, battle, war, all that shit. They able to subdue the seas. These are really strong people. You know what I mean? They learn from their ancestors, but their ancestors wasn't able to get up into, you know, into Etheria. And so Most High allowed them to mix with the chosen like tribe on earth, like the Twa people or the Twa, the young monks. That's why you hear like the Watusi and the Twa, it's the tribes. They come together and boom, they got this new tribe that's able to hear and see spiritual shit and a physical type stuff. You know what I mean? And so this is where that comes from. And so and that's what we deal with. So we already came to that conclusion and shit. The world hasn't came to that conclusion yet for theirs. They just want to go and pillage. And we're dealing with extraterrestrials any goddamn way, not aliens. Aliens is us. You know, the word Ali is Most High. I'm sitting on Ali Drive right now. You know what I'm saying? The Most High Drive at the House of God. I ain't know this shit said the House of God. It's me and and the doves. No wonder why everybody pointing down here saying all the shit and they read the sign and shit. The sign says, it's the house of God, no swearing, I be talking shit. But it said no eating of pork products, no smoking, no none of that shit. It's like, then they look at me over here playing with the birds, like, yeah. Alright, the motherfucker. Cussing, no. I mean that in a good way. Alright, thugs. I love y'all. Alright, I'm gonna get to y'all in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and hop up off this joint. But so that's how it is, man. So the battlefield's being cleared. It's gonna be a one-on-one battle. They're gonna have to face niggas one-on-one once again. It's like, you got help now. Just stay the fuck out the way and don't bother these folks when they're clearing them. Don't be, I know it sounds fucked up, but would these people try to save you all the way? Can you go to a land and you beg for them not to kick you out the land and say like, damn man, my passport's, I'm sorry man, can I stay over here and shit? Can you beg for them not to do that? You gotta develop crafty ways, crossing the border and coming and waiting on the other side for like 72 hours or an hour or a day or so, and come back and like, I'm back, nigga. Yeah, and be like, you know, you gotta do shit like that to stay. You know what I mean? These must come to the land, and what they do, they marry your women. Not only do they bring their familiar spirits over, they now all fucking your women and shit. Just to get the green card. They fucking your women, and the familiar spirit is in the room with their asses. Hey, hold her like this. She ain't never had none of that shit done, so these motherfuckers are like animals to niggas at this point. Niggas weren't animalistic as you think, as people think, or led to believe. Niggas is very clean, motherfucker. Always covered up and shit with clothes and cloth. You know, Victoria dress style clothes, that's a nigga style dress, man. That's probably one of the most elegant shit, where everybody looking like they in a ballroom with the dress popping out, the men looking all extra. Yeah, man, that's our shit. They ain't make that up. They came up with some dull ass clothes sitting on the beach with fucking fully dressed with clothes on. We don't know what time of the year that was, but they still looked weird and shit when we seen pictures of them motherfuckers. So anyhow though. Alright. They just probably agreeing and shit. They probably agreeing. They ain't really messing with me too much, so they cool. They already got some food. I just got everybody over here pointing at me and shit like, I'm like, damn, put the lights up, even with the clouds up. Got to keep the mic too. So yeah, you know, so that's what happened. So basically, man, just kind of give them, you know, break up with the narcissist. Allow them, you know, and the segregation thing, I know it seems racist or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's not really a bad thing. It's like, you know what? Your money is worth a lot, man. Spend with the one who is worthy of it. You know, mean business when you go out into the world. Always look the part. It's not no fake it till you make it. It's just who you is. You feel like you a business motherfucker, man, that slack, that little sexual with your whoop and your little cards and your scan cards or whatever, that's the type of shit you like in whatever area you in, rock that shit. Especially with whenever the season is right now, you should always be up on that point. Like, you mean something. It means something. People talk to you as time right now, and they gotta pay. And it's not, this is for a chosen ones too. It's not like it's like you're being petty. It's like, no, now at this time, you done gave all your energy away for free when motherfuckers weren't listening. Now they're forced to listen, just like when the heavens was forced upon the spirit to be developing their spirit and their light body when they transition. It's like, you better learn now before the heavens is forced upon your ass. That's pretty much what most I say. So when they see you learning and you know, doing it, it's not forced upon you, you're doing it out of will. Some energies are just envious or mad at that, or jealous of that, have a love-hate thing about that. They like it, but they hate it too. That is part of you doing it. We call it bossing up or whatever. Just bossing up in the mind, you know what I'm saying? Mean business when you talk, mean business when you about your time. Learn your craft, learn a skill. It only take a year. Within this year should be something that you learn, that you know you learned this year that you didn't know last year. If you like construction or something that you know that you can develop as a skill that'll help with the land that's going to be manifested through our Kundalini, find that out. Like something, if you like doing plumbing, find that out. Find out how to plumbing, do some plumbing. Find out how to plumb. But you can either learn it online or go to their school if it's free. You know, you don't have to spend no money for it. Learn it online if you gotta do it. You want to know framing? Because there's people who want to teach you. We're at a stage where you don't go look for help. You go look for someone that you can help at this point. Don't go look for the help. But I ain't never heard nobody say that. It may be said before, but this is what I'm saying. You know, you don't go look for it because it's like you can magnetize the help. Once you, if anything, look for someone who needs your help and stick to them to help them and be their family. But don't become their enabler in their own cluster B personality disorder. That's the fine line, you know. But help them to a degree. That's why God helps those who help themselves. You can't just help you on every prayer you ask for. You asking too much shit now. You don't want to be like, man, you ask too much now. You know, like a dad or somebody say, hey. That's too much now. So when the mugs see you see somebody helping themselves, you know they're gonna do it. You know, help them. The ones who just totally down and out, you pretty much ain't gonna be able to do too much to help them, except to sit with them. You know, and if you're sitting with them, and after it's a split moment, they be like, "You got some money?" Then you know not to be around their ass. Make them help them one time, and that's it. And they can get their little whoop. Go about your day. So find someone that you can help and stick with them. That's why I'm grateful for certain Ohanas in my life, people who just help me to stick with me. I'm homeless, motherfucker. Shit, and I've been that way, but it just shows to prove that most I send certain strangers on certain frequencies to help you. You know, even from around the world. You know, just keep your vibe high. Here, you're reminded to be happy. You know, anything that's evil coming from here, like, you know, that's meant to be evil, whether it's a gaslighting or a smear campaign of some sort about a person, or just anything. When you hear about it here, it's meant that it was brought here. This is a high vibratorial place. It's a happy place. That's why you say aloha. The high is in there, so you know it's the breath. So basically just having a loving soul, loving spirit to be at a high vibratorial energy. It's my understanding of it. Just like how the gods of earth get their understanding of the math and shit. That's how you do with the aloha. Just find your understanding of the aloha will evolve as you live. And as the more you tap into it, a lot of individuals out here, they don't know how to tap into aloha. So some of them will say it, but they don't know how to. They know true nigga is in aloha vibe at all times. You know, and here that would attract good. So yeah, just find someone find someone to help instead of trying to look for help. Like that motherfucker. You say that mother needs some help, find the one that needs help that can take it, that can accept help too. Because people who's in their ego, they won't even want to accept help too. So they gotta be ready too at the same time. And you can't do all the work for them. You get over there like, you need some help. And because some people in the cluster B personality, where they're in a weight disorder, where they have to do the thing for them, where they can, like a chick, if you had a female and she acts so helpless and shit, she try to act like she's reaching for something to trigger you to come over and, let me get that for you, baby. And she got you, you know what I'm saying? So certain things she can do. So whenever you don't do that, she can be like, see, you ain't gonna do that anyway. She think now it's like she done took it as an insult and she didn't read her mind and shit and be psychic. She tell her to be a psychic to go do what the fuck she wanted to do. Like you couldn't read her motherfucking mind about her taste buds that she wanted some Chinese dinner or some shit, some Chinese food later. Like, you know, after 7 o'clock I may want some Chinese food when you come from the gym. That ain't happen to me, I'm just saying though. But that just be like that. You know that. Meaning that you probably gonna spend so much time on yourself, looking in the mirror, posing, working out and shit. You can put all the energy. She could feel the energy being withdrawn from her ass. Like, what the fuck is he thinking about? Yeah, but, you know, try to page you and shit. You ain't answer your page. Well, baby, you know, my phone being a locker on and about it. You know, shit like that. Find a way to fight with your ass. Especially me. You have a toxic relationship with that. You can't even go to sleep around them type shit. Unless you submit, motherfucker. Like, bitch, let me eat your ass real quick to go to sleep. Right. Because why? They probably ain't been loved on this shit. Or they just want to continue on the cluster B shit and they disorder in their family. Or you probably didn't get the one in their family and shit. You know what I'm saying? Either or, it's all about you going to work on yourself. Pussy. You gotta get behind the pussy, man. Alright, y'all. I love you. But now we know. You gotta be selective with your energy with the immigrants. And just seeing, because you may not have chilled with I don't know too many niggas that really grew up with a best friend that's an immigrant. You might know a couple of them. I knew my boy Fatai. He was a Crip. And we was obviously gang and shit. He looked out for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but everybody know this though. My cousin shot him and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he lived. My cousin had to go do some time and all that shit. But it wasn't for that. And you know, me and Fatai was still cool, but he was a Somalian, man. That nigga was cool. He didn't die from that. He grew up later and he died later and shit, you know, later in the 40s and shit. I don't know if it was some complicated from that. But I don't know too many foreigners, so, you know, Except, you know, the Ethiopians that probably grew up in the hood with us and we couldn't know that they were Ethiopians. You go over their house like, hey, your house smell different. You're like, man, nigga, what the fuck you eating? They come out with shish kebab and shit. You're like, nigga, you ain't from here, nigga. Where you from? Oh, nigga, you from motherfucking Nigeria? I didn't even know, nigga. Hey, y'all moved over here. Oh, shit. No wonder. See, they can act like you and shit. You wouldn't know until you got to get into their spirit, you know what I mean? What's up, dog? All right, cool. You know, so it's the same difference, man. You know, the bird kind of threw me off and shit. But, you know, you really haven't grew up with one. Not that I know of. I don't know too many. I knew some Asians, but I just went over their house all the time. You know, like I do with niggas and shit. Niggas know mine. I had a friend that was white, but we weren't hanging together. I thought they got different familiar spirits. I'm telling you. We do too. We might influence them to be hella nice or be a certain way, and they'll rebel their parents. They'll be like, you always want to be around that black boy. And because our familiar spirits are rubbed off on his. Or if their familiar spirits have been rubbed off on some of ours and we around them too much, and like, man, that motherfucker think he a motherfucking white boy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's because some of them familiar spirits, because they got a group around that nigga too. And it been rubbed off on him. You know, ignored his damn inspiration. You know, so it's important, man. You know what I'm saying? Now we get back to the playing field because we know how each other act. And now it's an even playing field if you want to call it a game. But now it's at a point where, okay, we getting everybody out the way now. And then the motherfucker is going to be in control. The victor is going to be the one in control. And we can invite everybody back in, one by one. Like, you know, according to their deeds and shit. Because they know everybody want to be around. That's where life is at. It's sad outside, man. I don't give a fuck if somebody say, man, you need to come on over here to Thailand to do this. That's cool for like a month, maybe 3. You know what I'm saying? And if you having self-equality in sex, it might be cool for about a year because you're going to be fucking like 3 or 4 Thailand bitches at one time. You ain't never had that type of shit before. You know, for like fucking $100. You know what I mean? Then you can go eat some good-ass Thai food and have the bitch rub your feet at the end of the night. You know, get into a motherfucking $300 apartment that looks like it's fucking on America will be $3,200 or some shit probably. I mean, yeah, you'll like that. Be busting nuts and shit. They marketing to your ass. They online right now telling you to come over to Thailand. To leave America, your homeland, nigga. We got some bitches in Thailand. That's what bitches in Thailand are telling you. Niggas you don't never see a black man market to you and shit. Hey, yo, come to America, man. We got tickets for you. Why you gonna wait to see that motherfucker? Just come to America. Show some porn, clips of porn and shit, whatever. How the nigga treat you. Wine and dine. Somebody gonna slap you. Except from behind. We ain't doing that, but they always say, come to Thailand. You love black men. They're marketing to your motherfucking low vibratory stuff. You're like, man, I got a good time. These bitches over here treat me bad. My own sisters don't even like me no more. They all mad at motherfucking black women and shit. I ain't mad, but I love sisters. Every time I see these motherfuckers, I don't give a fuck what stage they in. I understand too. You know, it's like, now you only want one of them and shit. Because if you're a nigga, really, even though there's some fine ass women in other cultures, but one a goddess, an earth walking that bitch, it's a difference. It's like, because you're dealing with spiritual shit when you're dealing with a black woman. You ain't just dealing with fat booty and some titties and shit. I'm talking about the American black woman. The African black woman, I don't know too many niggas who grew up and got an African woman too tough. Maybe a couple, but it's all about sex shit. You know what I'm saying? You have girls because you're hitting it from the back. There's so many women in that motherfucker. But everybody's not. It's like it turns to lustful shit. That's how it goes, man. You know what I mean? So with sisters, it's more spiritual. Got into that a little bit more, but that's dealing with that's why most sides say don't go outside the shit. If you're gonna go outside some shit, man, all the whole tribes, nigga, we got so much diversity with that, nigga. You don't need nobody out there, man. And then guess what? And they all in tune with the Most High. They all in tune with me, man. Fuck with us. They stay with here. You go out there, man, it's gonna be fucked up. They look bad. They look fine. I create some fine looking motherfuckers, but I'll create some fine, wicked ass motherfuckers too. I'm trying to warn you and shit. You motherfuckers gonna descend down more and more to a place that you don't even want to even think of in the existence of myself. Like it's very low. So I want to keep you on the up and up, man. You know, you got a place outside of the firmament in Etheria, a natural inheritance. Naturally, like you're beautiful in all ways and realms. So when the spell got on the nigga and shit, necromancy, you thinking like how they think. You know, you worship, you really That's how they think. How do you think about them? You really liked it, all of their cultures and shit. You want to, know them, and you really admire how they look. They really are like that with you. But now they're in power though, so they feel like they're in power over. Everybody feels like they're in power over them, because they be like, nigga ain't got no allies. Like, nigga ain't got no allies. But everybody in America, someone like, nigga, you like, fuck your couch, nigga, you ain't got no allies. We all in your house. We getting buried in your fields, nigga. You taking your corn, nigga. You taking everything, nigga. Fuck your shit. That's probably why. And we still going to the store, the corner store, motherfucker. Get the fuck out. I got to the store now. After you done bought something with your candy, you can count out 89 pennies and shit. They think you just doing that on purpose. Like, nigga, I don't have no money. I got 89 pennies, man. I'm trying to get something to drink, man, and get my mind off of this shit or something. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. I don't drink, but I'm just saying, they won't understand that shit. After you done spent your little hard-earned cash coin finding motherfucker, you had to lower yourself to ask for some money. Some people can just ask for shit. But you gotta see, they shut up shop on America now. That you still go to get some food from them. We don't even support ourselves. Only reason why we charge so much for ourselves is because we know how we don't have no money. In real life, we'll just plug each other up. Like, I remember going to the grocery store when the mug got the plug and shit. Motherfucker took a picture of me. That motherfucker took a picture of me and shit. Y'all hear it in the car and shit. We rolled by and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. And it was a white boy. No, the white boy shouldn't even be concerned about niggas in Hawaii, man. Because Hawaii has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Just live your life and do you. This ain't America, this ain't slavery, none of that. But you're gonna prove that you naturally have hatred. It's like I'm proving that. I'm proving it. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna slide this time, man. So the thing is that being in all these lands and shit, you know what I'm saying? They try to throw it off with the beats, and you're playing my music, you're playing nigga music and shit. Etheric music, you're playing etheric music, because we know none of that shit that they make, it's not getting banged in etheric. It's not getting played on the shits. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have bass. And we already know the science of mimicking shit. So I'm just boom, right now. I'm just exposing it, that's all. At a level like this. Because this is where they want to get you to be, spiritually defeated. How they do that? Molest your ass, man. For hundreds of years, get you eating wrong food and all this shit, and market their female as a slut and shit in front of you, like they're the best, most sought after woman and shit. You know what I mean? It's a mind game, doing spell work on you. As soon as you discover that you're a Hebrew, you wanna take your culture back. Now you want to do Sabbath on the day that they do Sabbath. And the Sabbath ain't on them days. It's on the days, the 4 sacred days of the moon. Like coming up tomorrow. This is pre-Sabbath right here. You know what I mean? It's coming up for everybody. It's about to be the full moon. That's a Sabbath. Full moon Sabbath. The beaver moon Sabbath. Where's the beaver from? They take all our shit, man. And we got inspired by the beaver to build dams too. It's little things that we can learn from. We just learned, Most High showed us already through cycles. If our ancestors was too close to us, we became spoiled. If our ancestors was too far away from us, we became, non-believing in the spirit. So he showed our ancestors and showed us in spirit thousands of years ago on how to remain at a certain medium to allow us to discover this shit on our own. That's why you don't want to be like, I'll figure it out on my own. Because it's in us, man. They want to set up certain things for you so you can. But you got to stop listening in their world and shit and leave them alone. But it's hard to do because you got to go to work. When you go to work, you got to go sign up. Now, they know you smoke weed, so they want to test you for weed. Oh, you can't work. Okay, fuck that. Okay, so bam. So for the ones who don't do that, now you got to go to work with people who don't even look like you. And it came to speaking language. Now y'all sitting together, but y'all learning each other's language at the same time. Like, okay, hola. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hola. Yeah. You gotta go with that. And Muzz is seeing how you work. You working with, y'all trying to work together. You can talk, you can work without knowing and understanding each other's language. But somehow, some way, there's a barrier. And then it can discourage you from going to work. Because you'll see more that are like them instead of your people coming because they get discouraged because they don't want to go to work no more. And it's not about feeding their family and shit like that. It's just that niggas are more rich with the less things that they have. But when they always flaunt a nigga in your face on social media or TV who has all this money and shit, this big ass house, swimming laps in the pool and this, that, and the third, like he's the happiest being alive in a world that is post-slavery and shit, and motherfuckers are still getting fucked up by people who are in their cluster B narcissistic sociopathic disorder, eating motherfuckers up. It just shows something, man. Shit. It just shows something. It's like, no, the world is really like, niggas is really happy with the least amount of shit. You know? Once you start learning how to let go a lot of things, man, the approval of man, the approval of a person who's on that 666 mentality, the beast level, the carnal level, the carbon level, the level that's, you know, that can wither away type shit. You know, when you start getting away from that, you'll start seeing that, man, you're really rich, man. So that's why everybody will look at you, you seem mysterious to these people, because you're now on a different level. You're thinking about something different. You're thinking in a different way. You're not entertaining things. They'll send something your way, you know, chicks, decoys, distractions, whether it could be online. It don't even matter, G. Whether it's something you liked before a long time ago to distract you away from the higher knowledge of yourself, of ascending, always, constantly. They'll find a way for you to entertain certain thoughts for over 5 minutes, to whereas they can program you in your dream later on when they open your ass and shit. But most I got faith in you, more than anything. All his ass is faith in him. And the way to do that, just have faith in the science of the Kundalini and become a celibate and repent, and getting that oil to the crown chakra, getting that oil and that light up to the top, getting lit. He'll show you the gifts. And we all be in the game together. And we ain't gonna just be singled out like a motherfucker just riding past me taking pictures and shit. Helicopter solo just riding over a nigga sitting on the lava rock. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers get mad and be like, stop working out. The only haters say that to me though. It's like, dude, get some pussy. You know, cause they scared of bitches out here. They're always in my face. This is why I'm over here in the cut because I'm like hidden in a way, and I'm with animals. It's not crazy, but in their world it probably is. But you know, at the same time, I'm not giving them that energy. I did give them energy, but as you understand, it's best for you to give younger people who has a chance the energy, not grown ass men who had already lived certain lives that got caught up in vices. You know what I'm saying? He's only out here to hurt motherfuckers. You know, that's it. Children, if there's young men that's seeing this, they know that they can be able to be disciplined. That's what we're working with, because that's where the future gonna start at. So yeah, man, just go ahead, be cool, don't be in they shit. I know it's hard because you got to go to work and you got to be around Mexicans, and they got all of them, they all sit together. So, you know, every one of them got 5 spirits on them, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Every one of them got 5 spirits on them, and they all like niggas. I ain't lying, nigga. I mean, it's facts. Go online and shit. You can't even go on a straight line without a motherfucking Mexican hollering at your ass and shit. You ain't even got to be chest nigga. You can be a training motherfucking Mexican. You had all the work. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever, man. I'm telling you, it's deep. It might man too, man. You know, we're like kryptonite today. And it's like, you know, when you try to keep it cordial, they get more madder because it's like, you know, they're richer than you, so it's like you should be paying attention to them, right? But they see you're not even thinking about that because you're like focused on happiness and shit like that. So they try to find ways to trigger you and to get you off of your happiness, to get you off that high vibratorial frequency of being cool, calm, collected, and respected. You know, and that's what they hate. That's what haters do. They hate that shit. All right, so I'm about to wrap it up. I know I said it before. There was one more thing I was gonna say about the heavens, because I'm in a heaven where, you know, where heaven that's over me. They don't like white folks. Motherfuckers mad, nigga. They try to get me up, but they're like, nigga, we don't know. I don't know. We send this nigga to the heaven. This nigga might do something with this heaven. You know what I'm saying? They're like, damn, what if we do this with this nigga? Oh, I hate this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's deep, man. I am knocking on ether and shit. This is a different type of heaven, though. So they know in order to fuck with shit, they gotta put sunblock in the sky, because they know we be chopping it up about the dragons that be flying over here and all of this shit. They don't want you to connect with dragons and the griffins and shit. You know what I mean? Tell the story enlighten tell the people of like, yo, just raise your kundalini, man. The griffin's gonna be eating motherfuckers who's low. Like, how they know that, man? That's just how they are. But okay, let me not talk about that. They like, this nigga knows, we don't know. But yeah, they out here, they ate motherfuckers. They think that shit ain't gonna come back on them. They think dragons ain't gonna come out the cut and feast on these people. Hypothetically, whatever. You just, you know. Hey man, I'm saying you can't do that much motherfucking cool shit. Think you're gonna get away with a lot of shit. It's not gonna work. Mosai, that's why I say, just leave that vengeance to them as hard as it takes for you to want to hurt the motherfucker while in the flesh. Your ancestors already got hurt by these motherfuckers. So let them, because they got way more. When they say God knows how to do it right, that means that frequency knows exactly how to do it, G. Just line up. You see motherfuckers falling in front of you and shit, tripping, doing all kind of shit, trying to get over to you and shit. You just gotta have ancestors that had already grew in that area to go roll with. If we go deeper, the better, really. You know, we go deep to a hair or something like that. Come out here, I'll get you guys. Get all the shits. They be mad at that shit because they gonna look at you like they look at me like, nigga, how you know about getting out here? Oh shit, you gonna tell these motherfuckers I ain't shit? They don't know I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? They know I'm just nice and you know, and that's it. But nah, they do know motherfuckers. They always talk about that shit. They talk about the Aina right in their face and shit. They're like, damn, dude, y'all gotta have respect for the Aina. That shit cracks me up, man. But yeah, we only go to where our peoples was at in those heavens, and I don't think there's too many heavens in Africa. I think everybody try to get over to our heavens in America. Hence, everybody's flying from Africa to get to America. Not too many people from the islands in the Pacific don't fly to America too much unless they want to go and visit for a little bit and come back, you know, to their area. They cool with, you know what I'm saying? They actually cool with it. Some stay, some don't. But you can't get what they call the howling out of any of those goddamn lands and shit. Because they're all trying to get in those heavens. But the heavens in the Pacific is a little bit more scary. It's a little bit more different. They don't have like a cemetery out here. They got a little small cemetery, but not like a cemetery where you believe motherfuckers is buried at. Like, you know, military bases and shit. You know, they notice they keep military motherfuckers. Oh, nigga, you don't even be buried next to your family, nigga. You buried next to the military. Because why? Because above, so below. They know that. That's true. They know. They wouldn't be right past taking pictures of a nigga on the motherfucking wall and shit. You know what I mean? Sitting with the birds. Looking at a nigga like I'm supposed to validate them through my attention and record them on the Akashic or some shit. So I'd be like, yo. And they always want to ask me, you know, pull up on me on the side if I'm on the road or something. What you doing? Oh, not what you're doing. I see you all the time, man. You be around the sketches, but you're not sketchy. Like, oh, yeah, okay. You know, I do da-da-da-da. Like, you want to interview me and shit. You want to find da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I don't go up to nobody and I never ask them, what do you do? I just never ask them, what do you do? Like, what is your profession? What do you mean? Or how do you conjure financial motherfucking freedom or whatever? Or what the fuck? I don't do that. If anything, I would be more intrigued on how did you get spiritual sound awareness if I see you? Because I know y'all got some money. Because that's what's keeping you founded and happy out in a place like this. Because you don't naturally have aloha. If you did, you can walk around like me. But you can't. Because why? We know the difference. You gotta have some type of mind-altering chemical, like meth or some new shit that they got out here with motherfuckers dying or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They all on that. Gotta hide it from the sun and shit. And but they got money so it can keep them a little happy, a little above water. But if they didn't have it, the ones that you see that don't got it, they're in bad shape. But they're not walking around here in spirit. Oh, bless God, one almighty. No. You let a white roster come through here, and I see one. I got a stalker right now. This motherfucker trying to figure out everything about me, how I live, how am I able to do whatever. Because, you know, they're around niggas in America and rosters in America, so they don't know. You know, they just know they smoke weed. I'm in the wild. This is basically the wild compared to them. You have to be on a spiritual level out here. So they know and understand if you don't have a bunch of money or some type of source of income to have a good outcome for them and the way of something to look forward to be happy, they go crazy. They turn into zombies because these drugs turn them into that shit. They go crazy, yelling all over the goddamn place. Can't sit in the sun. They throw the middle finger up to the sun because to them the middle finger means fuck you and shit. You know, and this means fuck you. From us it means fuck you, but to them they don't know what it means. You know, so anyway, you know, and so they do all these things. You know, and if they don't have no money, you know, all of them get swords and shit if they ain't got no place to go to hide from the UVs. But if they ain't got no money, them motherfuckers, more dangerous motherfuckers, man. They're not as smart as they think they are. You know what I mean? They're not as earthly in nature as they think they are. They can have a mask and project some type of reality out to the public. But once you come here, all that shit falls. It's like, it seems like it falls while you're in flight. Like everybody's seen for who they truly is if you just pay attention. You know? You gotta be dealing with nature out here because there's nothing else to entertain you. Once you see that ain't no niggas to entertain you, no clubs, no fucking, all they got is your music, nigga. All they got is a digital footprint of your ass or something that they can just log on to. They can listen to your old, you hear old people out here, the older people, they'll listen to the old school Motown music. My mom listens to Motown, but stuff like that. They're stuck in that era. All wherever they're at, they're in that era, you know. As well as we evolve. Even the oldest of us, we hear some new hip hop music. I don't give a fuck if you're 80 something years old. You hear something that's new, and you can't like, I like that. You know, that's how it is. Because we evolve. All right, I hear you, baby. So, you know, that's why I hear it. Must be like, man, I remember I ran to a chick. She was like, something's missing. It's like, yeah, niggas. It's some vibratory energy and shit, dude. And all the Hawaiians, you know, they head away a little bit. And they just let the white folks just come and tour the land. And what they do, they bring in their foreign immigrants. They bring in their foreign, they're foreign, of course. So they bring in all their spirits in them. Because now they can hop in them planes now. And then bam, they're allowed to come through, bring them spirits. But them spirits get terrorized. Them motherfuckers can't wait to hop on the plane and go. You know what I'm saying? They can't wait. And then some of them that stay, it's like, they're just trying to make some type of point that they can stay, but it's like, it's not yours. It doesn't even treat you right, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll know, if you traveled in the island, you have to travel in the island. I done traveled in the island, man, by myself, where banyan trees were so quiet, man, you couldn't hear nothing. You could damn near thump the air, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Banyan trees is big as fuck. You don't see nobody around. Ain't nothing but spirit. And it's the spirit of the Most High and the villagers, whoever that lived it down there. So I had to chill with them. And I deal with them. I deal nights with them and shit. You know? These people don't do it. And so, because when they do it, it's certain things go down, G. They're not really favored by this nature out there. It's a different kind of nature. You know? So, but they come and watch it. They'll come see it. And it's kind. This kind of nature is kind. But once you start disrespecting, start changing on your ass. It's beautiful and treacherous at the same time. Very beautiful and treacherous. I watched it take lives in front of my own eyes, and I wasn't even supposed to. I'm like, damn, you know. And it showed me. Now it showed me a lot of shit. And only niggas, only people who are supposed to be out here, really. I'm telling you, man. Anybody who's dealing with Hawaii, the Most High, All I Am, who's in tune with the All Creator, can come. Ones who ain't from here, they ain't like that. You can tell the difference, man. The atmosphere, everything changes. The atmosphere changes because all of them goddamn foreign spirits is with them. The familiar spirits of them is with them. So, of course, it's going to affect the atmosphere. If it's happy, you can tell, well, we got a happy bunch of people in now. You know what I'm saying? Or you got like the sad, depressed. They come in with them energies, G. That's with everywhere that they go. It's like the fly, will show up and warn you right away. The roach, all that. But now we know the roach ain't coming out as often and shit. You know? Because when they die on here, it's like, it's different. I'm done too much shit, but it's deep. I'm gonna tell you later though. But it's deep because it's dealing with the heavens of the lands, man. You know? They deal with tourism every day, so they're swamped with all this energy. The good air is being sucked out. The aloha is being sucked out. Like, you know what I'm saying? They gotta do meth to keep up to be happy. The locals gotta do that because they're so sad and depressed, and they don't understand that that's what's going on. You know what I mean? Like they're so sad that they gotta have something to make them feel happy. They know that they normally are happy. So when they see me, someone smiling, I don't blame them. But come to sit around me. You know, some people used to get mad. Oh, you entertain the locals. I'm talking about the locals. What they would call would be the knockers or the native looking or the niggas. You know what I mean? The ones who's the original shit. You know. And it's like I chop it up with them. They, you know, I chop it with some white dudes too. They're cool. Some of them are cool. You know what I mean? But I don't entertain all of them. I don't just chop it up with the tourists all the time. Anyone's who's nature, man. You know what I'm saying? So they feel comfortable, like I'm a brother or uncle with them. The younger ones, even the people who ain't even on drugs, they're uncle. You know, they just want to hug uncle. They call me uncle. They want to hug uncle and shit. You know what I'm saying? Uncle with the doves. You know, so they all run up. So people hate that, right? A lot of the you know, Caucasians, they hate that shit. And they see me walking too, I don't need the car, they be pissed off. See my body, pissed off. Not begging for food, not got the sign, don't got the sign, they pissed off. And me, you know, how many attacks from them familiar spirits that come daily. So that happens on our land too. So all them airports is being hit by all these different spirits, G. And that shit gotta close up. That's what's going on. Pardon me. And that's what's going on in America. Really, all that shit's getting cleared out. So when you hear motherfuckers talking about cut off of this and cut off of that, that is like it's going like this to them motherfuckers. Like, nigga, I'm gonna cut that shit off, nigga. What you gonna do now? Talking to the white folks. Like, what you gonna do? Swift. I really don't have no bread right now, but he got some bread over there. This is a sparrow. You know, niggas talk about sparrows. The song's written about sparrows. You know what I'm saying? This is sparrow right here in front of me. But it's like, you know, did you hear about the government shit? It's niggas, they're going like this, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they know Trump about money, right? And they know that niggas is really the most valuable resource that they got. You know what I'm saying? So when he says like, yo, we're gonna go see where that money's at in the Federal Reserve. That money better be there, type shit. They're talking about the money that niggas was put up for. Because that money's ours. You fucking around and wake up and say, yeah, niggas, we finna send you motherfuckers $1,000 a check. What? That's what they don't want you to know what's gonna happen. All you gotta do is stay the fuck out the way. Let them clean the streets up. If niggas wanna hang out in the street and wanna fight the National Guard, let them. They don't speak for us. Them little niggas out there fighting the National Guard don't speak for us. I don't give a fuck. I seen what the National Guard do. They're friendly. They're nice. They're not killers. They're just gonna they'll follow orders. But they're nice, nigga. They're just like us. In fact, if you join the National Guard, motherfucker, learn some shit. Teach us something. You know what I'm saying? They're not really evil. They was only evil under certain rules of people, of certain entities in real life. But I'm just saying, you know, they're not out to do the devil's deeds. You know what I mean? You can actually have a conversation with them. They're not in Marine fucking uniform and shit. You see Marine coming through, them motherfuckers is trained to kill. That's why once a Marine is always a Marine. Them niggas is always thinking about killing. My brother Marine, I know. You know what I'm saying? I lived on the base. I know what these motherfuckers do. That's all they do. That's all they think about. I mean, that's all it is. Shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, I know I said I'm gonna get up, but it was something I was gonna say about the Marine before I said something about the National Guard. Marine, yeah, just let these motherfuckers clean out the shit, B. You know what I'm saying? You let them clean out the shit, B. You know, that money, you know, don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing about nothing. You know, let the Kenyan dude talk shit about brother come out, brother. Shit like that. You know how you talk, you don't really care. He don't really give a fuck if you come to Kenya or not, man. Nobody care about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't when they market into you, the spirit telling you to go come, Ibrahim telling you to come through now or all that shit. Nah, you don't need to. Nah, you don't need to. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go nowhere. Really, you do business all over. Slow, you gotta get your shit established. Boom, boom, boom. Light body shit up. Get all the immigrants out for a second. That's carrying out all the spirits because this was happening in the upper room. First, the ancestors come through and they clear out atmosphere first. Anybody who's false in those temples, they get them a chance to prove if their doctrine is the almighty right and exact. They stand in front of them like, yo, nigga, is you the true and living? You roll with the Most High or not? They're like, nah, nigga, I'm so-and-so, so-and-so. Oh, you the false Osiris. Nigga, you ain't got no rule over here, man. I'm gonna show you ain't got no rule. And then change heaven like that. Nigga, like how they came through and did, what they do in the hood, what's that shit called? Regentrify the hood? If it regentrifying heaven right now. That's pretty much what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Then they gotta clean the skies out because this motherfucker got so much sunblock in the skies. It's ridiculous. You know? You gotta come way out here to get this goddamn on that. Them motherfuckers all, you know, it's familiar spirits out here, but they will have to be on a special mission. You know, or they will have to already live out here to come out here. It's different. Like the motherfucker that just rolled past took that picture and shit. Like, he was driving past going in. I'm telling y'all, so you know, talking like this. They know ain't nobody been talking like this, not the false prophet, not Malachi, not none of them. They could have said it, but they didn't. Now, babies is in the game. We're checking up about the heavens. We're doing what our ancestors tell us to do, and we're just carrying out the divine orders. You know what I mean? This is one of the highest of divine orders that you could possibly do. With the celibacy, you ain't got to pick up no weapon. It's the only weapon you got to pick up. That's it. You got to pick up shit. It looks good for the Black Panthers walking, but you ain't got to pick no weapon. I'll pick this Kundalini up, tame that shit. Guaranteed. All that little shit, you become powerful. It's like in the spirit realm, they got rulership over you.